Hey volleyball fans, Rob St. Clair here from the European Volleyball Show, previewing Pool B of EuroVolley 2021 Women. Going to go through all 6 teams in the pool, their history with one another, and do a couple of my picks at the end for projected MVP, breakout player of the pool, spotlight match of the pool, and I will pick my predicted finishings 1 through 6 in Pool B. So let's start with the hosts in Bulgaria. Bulgaria hosting Pool B in Plovdiv, which will also host matches in the round of 16 and the round of 8 in the quarterfinals. So a huge home field advantage for Bulgaria in the pool phase, and if they get placed there in the elimination round. We talked about in the Bulgaria team preview how great of a volleyball country Bulgaria is and how big their home fans are to support them, so really excited to see that on display this tournament. Bulgaria has participated in 29 of the previous 31 European Championships, and the only years they didn't play were 1949 and 51, so it's safe to consider them a mainstay of this tournament. Their only win in history in 1981, which they hosted. They also finished on the podium in 1979, winning bronze, and 2001 winning bronze, which they also hosted. So clearly the history can tell you right there that hosting the tournament is a big advantage for Bulgaria, and I expect to see that in this pool phase. In EuroVolley 2019, Bulgaria finished in 8th, losing to Serbia 3-0 in the quarterfinals. Their path there included a 3-0 win over Greece in the pool phase, who they'll see again this time around. Bulgaria has a little bit of history with some of the opponents that they'll see in Pool B this time around in 2021. Most frequently Greece in history. Bulgaria 5-0 against Greece in history in the European Championships. Their last matchup with Spain was a loss in 2011. They most recently lost to the Czech Republic in 2013, lost to Poland in 2013, and lost to Germany in 2017. So not great recent history, at least recent immediate history for Bulgaria against their fellow teams in Pool B. But those matches, of course, were not played in Bulgaria like these are about to be. So a lot of high hopes for Bulgaria coming into this tournament. A team definitely on the rise. Check out their preview video that I did a couple weeks ago for more on Bulgaria. Up next, we'll check out Poland, who has played in all but one of the 31 European Championships in history. 2-time champions from 2003 and 2005, but their last podium was 3rd place in 2009. So it's been a little while since the Polish women's team has really achieved that elite continental level across Europe, which of course their men very consistently are. But some pretty high expectations for this Polish women's side this time around. Poland, across all history in the European Championships, has 11 podium finishes, which is really impressive and only matched or beaten by Germany, who also has 11, 7 as East Germany, 4 as Germany, and Russia, of course, combined with the Soviet Union with 26 podium finishes, which is just absolutely crazy. So Poland, a very good history in this tournament, trying to write the next chapter in 2021. In EuroVolley 2019, Poland finished 4th, reaching the semifinals and then losing 2 matches in a row. Their 2 knockout phase wins at the event were 3-0 against Spain in the round of 16 and 3-2 over Germany in the quarterfinals. In this summer's Volleyball Nations League, Poland lost 3-0 to Germany in a competition where they finished 11th, 1 place below Germany. But like a lot of teams did this VNL, Poland didn't send their entire full squad, opting to rest a couple players and figure themselves out towards this European Championship. So this is clearly the tournament that Poland has had their sights on, considering they barely missed out on qualifying for the Tokyo Olympics. Across all European Championship history, Poland has a pretty strong history against Bulgaria and Germany, winning 14 matches against each of them. So history on the Polish side here in their Pool B matchups individually against these teams. Very curious to see how this pool goes. I'd say it's pretty competitive at the top. Moving on to Germany up next, who since the reunification of East and West Germany have competed in all 15 European Championships. And in that period, they've been on the podium 4 times, silver in 2011 and 13, 3rd in 1991 and 2003. Back before the reunification, East Germany won the European Championship in 1983 and 87, while West Germany's best finish at the event was 5th place in 1983. In EuroVolley 2019, Germany finished 6th. They went 5-0 in pools pretty impressively, including 3-1 over Spain, and defeated Slovenia in the round of 16, but were beaten in the 5th by Poland in the quarterfinals, like we just mentioned. So some very strong history there between those two teams. Germany won their most recent European Championships matches against Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Greece, and Spain, but are 0 of their last 6 against Poland. So a very interesting match, those two teams head-to-head this time, with perhaps the Pool B title on the line, which we'll talk about in just a minute. Up next, the Czech Republic returns to the European Championships after failing to qualify for 2019. They finished 12th in 2017. Czechoslovakia won the European Championships in 1955, which was the only one of the first 11 of these tournaments not won by the Soviet Union. So some good history dating back to the merge between the Czech Republic and Slovakia. The Czech Republic's most recent podium finish at this tournament was 3rd place in 1997, but in their 8 participations since, they haven't finished higher than 8th, so looking for a quarterfinal berth at least this time around in 2021. Next up in Pool B is Spain, who makes their 7th appearance at the European Championships. Their best all-time result was 9th place in 2009. They participated in 2019, finishing 15th, making it out of pools in Pool D, but were beaten in straight sets by Poland in the round of 16, like we mentioned before. Spain has played 27 matches in European Championship history and has only won 5 of them, but one of those 5 wins was 3-0 over Bulgaria in 2011, which was Spain's only straight sets win at the European Championships ever. So making it out of pools is a pretty good goal here for Spain this time around, but they're going to have to beat 1, maybe 2 pretty good teams in order to do so. Last but not least in Pool B is Greece, participating in the European Championships for the 6th time, and it's only the 2nd time they've participated in consecutive editions. Their best result ever was 8th in 1991, finishing 14th in EuroVolley 2019, making it out of pools but losing in straight sets to the Netherlands in the round of 16. Greece has played 30 matches in European Championship history, only winning 4 of them. They beat France and Albania in 1991, they beat France again and Finland in 2019. But against their Pool B opponents this time around, they are 0-10 in history. So an uphill battle for Greece to make it out of pools in EuroVolley 2021. All right, wrapping it up with some of my picks for this pool. My Pool B projected MVP, Elitsa Vasileva, Bulgarian outside hitter, longtime captain of the team, and I just really am high on the Bulgarian fans and home field advantage. Vasileva, an incredibly experienced high-level player playing club all over the world, has been with the Bulgarian national team for what feels like forever, even though she's only 30 years old. I expect big things out of her and her team this tournament. My breakout player that I expect in Pool B, and I don't know if it's fair to call this player a breakout player, as we already know a good amount about her, but at only 21 years of age, Magdalena Stysiak, the outside hitter opposite hybrid from Poland, is a player I really expect to play a big role in this tournament. We've seen her play both pins. She obviously plays opposite professionally, but has played a lot of outside hitter for the Polish national team alongside Malwina Smarzek at the opposite, so we'll see how that chess match kind of goes internally for Poland. Check out my video on them for more about that, but I expect Stysiak to have a really big tournament, a very offensive-minded, good-sized player, and young. If you don't know that name, Magdalena Stysiak, by now, you will at the end of this tournament. My spotlight match for Pool B, Germany versus Poland, August 19th. Other than the home team in Bulgaria, these are the 2 teams who, in my opinion, have a very legitimate chance to win this pool. And them going head-to-head on what I believe is just the 2nd day of the tournament will have a lot to do with how this pool finishes up. So make sure you tune into Germany versus Poland if at all possible. All right, on to my predictions for Pool B, starting at the bottom. 6th place I predict will be Greece. Just a difficult pool for them, history not on their side. Just an uphill battle. I don't think they'll be favorites in any one of their 5 matches. 5th place I have Spain, barely missing out on qualifying. I think this pool is just a little bit too difficult, and the other teams have just enough experience to get past Spain. 4th place I have the Czech Republic, qualifying to make it out of pools in the round of 16. And then these top 3 are very difficult to pick. I think you could make a very good argument for putting them in any order, but here's my take. I'm going to put Germany finishing 3rd, Poland finishing 2nd, and the home team Bulgaria finishing 1st. I really am high on the Bulgarian home field advantage, home court advantage. I expect to be a really big deal for this team. Poland, although star-studded and has a good amount of firepower, no Joanna Volosť this tournament and weren't all that convincing in VNL. Germany, I think, just a little bit too young and might get overwhelmed by the serious Bulgarian home crowd. So So I am going to pick the home team, Bulgaria, to win Pool B. Although, again, like I said, you can make an argument for any of those 3 teams, but there's my rankings: Bulgaria, Poland, Germany, Czech Republic, Spain, and Greece, in that order. So stay tuned for a lot more coverage leading up to and during the 2021 European Championships, starting in just a couple days, really. Make sure you check out the CEV website, subscribe here on the CEV YouTube channel, and if you want to watch all the matches, make sure you know where you can watch it in your country. But I highly suggest checking out EuroVolley.tv. If it's available in your country, there's a phenomenal promo going on right now, a nice cheap package to be able to watch all of the European Championships, both men's and women's. So I strongly recommend checking out EuroVolley.tv to follow along with the entire tournament. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.